Okay, I think we're live now. Yay!
Yes,
Live.
we're live.
Happy to see you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Let's check.
Welcome to everyone. It's been a
Oh, yeah.
long time. We've not been here.
Yeah, right.
We are very happy to be here and streaming live.
Mm-hmm. 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 And we have
If you've missed this time with us, let's know. And if you have been blessed during all the periods you have always come here, let's also know in the comment section, please.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. It's been a long time. Um, I guess we took like a little break. A lot of things were happening. But yeah, good to be back.
yeah.
And for those of you guys that are have joined the 10K club, um, and you're waiting, like you're thinking, oh, what's going on? Don't worry, update is coming soon. I'm trying to make sure that wherever I'm going to share is going to be easy for everybody to use to make some money, right? Anyways, today we're not talking about money. We're talking about more of marriage stuff, right? And the topic we are going into today is should a Christian brother do sperm analysis tests before you get married, right? So that's what we're talking about today. And hopefully, we're going to share a few things, opinions, basically. So, yeah, for those of you that don't know, my name is David,
Mhm.
and I like to call myself your money coach. So, anyways, yeah, I'll let my two other sisters introduce themselves.
Okay. Um, Madam Awokoya Deborah. You can call me Deborah if you want. Um, I'm here and happy to be here once more again. We're discussing this very important topic and hope you're going to enjoy it. If you've never been on this live session, you are welcome. If you have been here, welcome back. Yes. So I'll hand over to you, Princess.
Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm so happy to be here again. And my name is Madam Princess, Sister Princess, Princess, however you want to address me. I'm game and I'm so happy to be here. Actually, it's been a very couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks that we've not come here to chat, but we're happy to be here. And let's chat. Let's chat about this. Okay, this is going to be freestyling. I mean, we're just free, nothing, no holding back. Put your comments, and we're using a new program now, and I think that we'll be able to add more people, and you guys can ask your questions live. I can't wait for that to happen. I want to hear your beautiful voices here. I hope that we make this a very interactive session today about let's talk about this. Should a Christian man or a single Christian man run fertility test before marriage? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
yeah. First of all, for those people that don't know what's a fertility test, let's talk about that first, right? So, fertility test is basically for those of you that love to have children, right? The reason why I'm saying that is very, very intentional because not everybody wants to have a child. So, for most people, I guess this is relevant because most people want to have a child. So, for those of you that are looking to have a child, mm, fertility tests is a way to find out for a man, for example, to know if his semen are healthy and is able to actually like poke the egg of a woman and then create an offspring. Offspring meaning a child, right? So that's fertility test. I don't know. Is there a simpler way of saying it?
Well, no, that's
That's a good
no.
one. That's a good one.
Okay. All right. So I guess we know we have our basics right now. Now, the other part of it is, should a Christian man do fertility tests? That's a question, right? For me, um, I would say, if speaking as a man now, if I'm advising sisters, um, if you are with a brother, or you during your course of discussion, like in your courtship period, and the brother is telling you certain things about himself, obviously vulnerable is very important, right? And he's telling you things like, oh, he's been very, very active during his days, and also probably if he is kind of like addicted to pornography, um, that means that he's probably releasing a lot of sperm, right? And he's kind of like
Going to,
depleting his sperm count.
what does it? Can you deplete your sperm count?
Yeah, you can. You can. The more you do it, like it's kind of, it gets it gets a bit more weaker, right? And also with age. So, for that reason, it's for me.
Someone
I'll
had just
advise.
commented, Engineer Timothy Oyewale.
Yeah, Engineer Timothy Oyewale said it is good to test before marriage. I think marriage committee should do that. Yes, I agree with that. And
Why?
so
Why,
let
Engineer
me.
Timothy Oyewole, share your thoughts. I want to hear your why you say that. Keep
Yeah.
right.
So let me just complete my thought. So I think it is important to do sperm tests in that kind of scenario, because sometimes also, apart from ability for the guy giving birth to kids, there's this other coin of uh, the whole thing is, sometimes, because of a lot of people that suffer from masturbation, they kind of like weaken their sperm strength, and that can result in having kids with disabilities and stuff like that. So,
Scientifically, we might need a medical doctor to
yeah,
certify.
we need a medical doctor to back up my claim, but,
Seriously, we need a doctor
but
to say if this is really what is really
this is,
happening in the biology kingdom. Really,
yeah, so we need a doctor to kind of confirm this. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, from my uh, little knowledge of how the male biology works, it's important for me. I think it's important for you as a sister to say, okay, let's go do some form of like fertility test.
So
So
is it only
that's,
when brother tells you that he has masturbated before? Because if he is still masturbating today, he's not a Christian now. That's number one.
no, he said
So
if he has masturbated in the past
if he
before.
has masturbated before, and he tells you that he has masturbated before, does he have to? Is it only if he has masturbated before, or if he has had premarital sex with different partners, that you have to ask for a test? I don't think so. I
No,
think that there are other issues apart from the lifestyle of individuals that should also warrant you just doing a test. And if um, sometimes you do an overall medical test, not because you are not fine, not because you're sick, but because it's important that you know what your medical conditions are. So it's not just because you are sick. It's not just because you have had a particular lifestyle that you think might have affected you. It's just to know what your medical conditions are. What about those that they just have low sperm count? Low sperm count is not just because you have had
And
many sexual encounters. It's
yeah.
not just that. So it's a medical condition. And so and you need to know whether that's what it is. If there is history in your family, a lot of times when we go to medical doctors to see the doctors, they always ask us, what's your history, medical history?
Mhm.
Do your parents have this? Do you have anybody in your family that even eye defects and all of that? So it's not about your sexual history. It's just about a general medical checkup that you need to that will ascertain what you're going to what are you really praying for. Not that after you have got married,
Mhm.
you marry and you feel that okay, the guy is a tall guy, he's fine, he's handsome. It's not doesn't or is not tall. Uh that's not a prerequisite to determine whether he's uh is healthy all round. And if you really intend to have a child, today we're talking about the male, but for the female, there are also female things too. So if you really want to have a baby, instead of a situation where people get married and um, um, yes, you need to be able to trust each other, but the medical tests will show exactly what is your medical condition, even without you saying it exactly. And there are some medical conditions that you may have that you may not know that you already have. And it's the medical test that will determine it. And that thing is that if individuals have had um, sexually transmitted diseases, apart
Yeah.
from even HIV, there are other sexually transmitted diseases that affect internal organs and that destroy your ability to be able to procreate. And a lot of people do not know. And genital infection happens very easily, especially for those that go to places where it's dirty, or that another person that has already been infected comes in there, use the toilet, and you don't disinfect before you use. You can always contaminate, you can get contaminated. So, if, for example, the person has treated one, maybe it's staphylococcus or whatever they call it, all those kind of things, and if you need to know if it is completely treated. A lot of people have problems with their genitals and they don't treat it completely, or it has shifted from an external problem that you can see and has gone internally, and you cannot see what is happening inward. So you need to do a test. Another thing is that there are sometimes young men. I remember there was a particular brother that I used to know on campus. I used to see him a lot. He was always scratching. I'd be like, why is this guy scratching? Always scratching. And maybe you are there, you're always scratching and scratching, and
Don't
it's
check it out.
disgusting. That's number one. That you just sit down, stand, and you start to put your hand in your pocket to start to scratch one thing or the other.
Something might just be wrong and they don't know. They're not paying attention to it.
You
Right?
know, so it needs to be checked up. It needs to be checked up. You need to check it up to see why is it scratching, and it's not about whether the person does not love you or not. You should
Mm.
not bring in a health condition and contaminate another person that it does not know about your health condition before you got married. So
Yeah.
that those are the things that you don't need to hide. You
Yeah.
need to be clear about it. And sometimes you may not even be, it's not that you're trying to hide it, but because you don't know. So it's what your medical condition can, medical test can discover, and then you'll be able to know exactly. And then, if, for example, you discover that there is a low sperm count or something, if you get married and you're not able to have children immediately, you'll be able to know that, okay, it's not the lady that has the problem, it is you. But if in the case where you, as a man is doing a medical test, I think that the ladies should also do the fertility test too.
That's right.
Ladies should be very. A lot of things are happening today, and even in the Christendom, even in the churches, that as a young man that is maybe has kept himself wholly unto God,
Yes.
uh, you don't just go blindedly into a marriage relationship and say the blood of Jesus has watched everything. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe that you should just go, yes, it's a thing of our past. It's just a past. It's a part of our life. What's past? You don't know what she has done. Sometimes a lot of ladies are so dangerous, and they will not even tell you that maybe she has lost a womb, or maybe one of her fallopian tubes have been out. Those are all the things that your test, medical test, will reveal to you. So, as a young man, if you, that's why young men, because a lot of times women think that medical infection, I mean, genital infections are more for women, but I read it somewhere that men easily contact infections too. But a lot of them do not know, because many a times they are not very careful about where they sit. You go into a toilet, it's not very clean. You just sit there, and you get rashes maybe all over your bum bum, and that doesn't bother you.
Mm.
You don't know what the rash is all about. You just start to put maybe powder or whatever. You're trying
Mm.
to do
Self-medicate.
self medication without really understanding why, or you're having this bad discharge that
Mm. Men get
that's
discharged.
coming out from you, and you are stinking. Your pants, your
Men
uh,
discharge. Do they get discharged? Is it just women
the
or
thing
men?
that when if a guy he has a contamination, he will not have, if he have an infection, he will not have a discharge.
I think it's when they're urinating that maybe they will have. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, like if you have chlamydia, you have discharge,
They
or
have discharge. Wow.
gonorrhea, or what's it called?
I think gonorrhea there will be bleeding also.
Staphylococcus. So basically, men know now. Men know these things.
Yeah,
Like
no. Okay, great.
if if you're peeing, it will be like painful and all that.
Yeah, right. That's good.
So men and women have the similar, different types of symptoms, right? But yeah, continue.
So when you have discharge, or you need to take care of that, and then you need to drink a lot of water. You need to be careful about what you're taking into your body, and you don't just go to toilet and just sit down anyway. Guys are not very careful about it. You don't just go to toilet and just sit down anyway and feel that it's outside there. I can just stand. You can just, I can just stand anyway, and then you just, no, you don't just go and sit down anyway. And
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 then
if the
I give.
environment where you go to, there are some people that they can go to places where, especially in some parts of the world, you can go to places where everywhere is full of excreta on the ground, and then they go urinate there, and they feel that it's no big deal. Because there are viruses, there are a lot of things that are
Yeah,
flying that you don't see. You can't see because you don't have any microscope. Your eyes cannot see all those
yeah,
micro things. So,
yeah, yeah. That's true.
and that's why there are a lot of infections, a lot of infections,
Right.
and you just go anywhere, you just ease yourself anywhere. And
Mm.
you also that ease yourself anyway, also, you are part of the problem. Because you cannot just ease yourself anyway and everywhere, because you make the environment to get contaminated. That's why there are toilets, and that's the reason why we need to appeal to our various governments all over the world that they should make public toilets available at the designated places where people can always go to ease themselves, and let those places be cleaned up. If you are a
Mm.
cleaner, it's your job. You are being paid to clean up a place. Do your job well. You cover your
Well,
your hands, put your hand gloves or whatever, put something, cover your nose, and do your job well. Don't just go there. The thing that
And
is
that's,
being meant.
Well,
we're going off topic, but the point is that I mean,
Because the places and if as a young man or as a young man, if you're going to go to toilet, a lot of times women are the ones that are very careful and always putting things in their bags,
yeah,
exactly.
to disinfect places. And men think,
yeah,
you don't need all those things.
yeah. I'll just go ease myself and get out, and I'll be fine.
You don't need all those, but you need it.
You
Wherever
realize,
you are going to, you need to make sure that it is cleaned up.
yeah.
It needs to be cleaned up.
I
So as
remember when
men are careful, women also should be careful.
yeah, that's true. That's very true. I don't know about the
So,
men first, but I know that my son will always say that the boys' bathroom is very dirty at school, and it's easy for men because they're men, right? They stand a lot to do their to do their needs, like go to poop and what have you, or pee, and they just pee around. And so boys generally don't are not trained to sit down, so they stand, and then everywhere is always usually dirty. And if you're not a careful boy, before you know it, you see little boys that sometimes you see them have itching sensation. Small little boys that cannot have sexually transmitted diseases. It's just
but
because
not to
they're
cut you,
dirty.
But they
not
say
to
that
cut you,
there are proofs that
cut you
boys are
short.
getting a lot of
Not
boys are.
not to cut you short. I just want to add that see that there are cases even that even in a seemingly clean toilet you can get infection because the person that cleaned it probably did not use the right process. So for me, I always believe that don't trust whoever has used the toilet or whoever cleaned the toilet. You can only trust yourself and the toilet or wherever it is. So don't wait for government to do their job. Don't wait for the next person to do their job. You do your part to protect yourself by making sure you are taking precautionary
And
measures.
what kind of precautionary measure will you take? Do you take a
So
spray,
for men,
disinfectant?
me for men usually for me I usually have like this small Dettol in my pocket everywhere I go.
Okay,
So even if I see the toilet is looking so clean and shiny, I don't trust it
you still
because
spray stuff.
I've worked in hotels, so and I know some of my colleagues in housekeeping. They used to tell me about how they used to clean rooms, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! If only guests knew about this, they will, they will think twice. So
Mm.
so it's always best to trust in what you are doing yourself rather than what you're saying. Right.
So and
Uh,
there's this thing. I don't know if you can see. This is like a spray disinfectant. Okay, can you see?
Yes, yes.
It's a spray disinfectant, and it says antibacterial um, spray. So you can get something like this. I carry it around in my bag because I try to spray before my kids use the washroom and before myself I use the washroom. So if I get to the washroom, I just spray the seat, I spray the handle, I spray, all the places that we're going to be touching with this. And then sometimes I just use the tissue paper and wipe it down quickly and allow my kids to use the washroom. That's the way that I try to prevent them from getting infections. So these are some of the things that you can do. You can just buy this small, tiny little. You see, it's very small. You can just buy it and keep it in your bag. Whenever you go to the washroom, you get it out. Or I also had, but I don't have it here. I have a toilet seat. But I know if the toilet is already wet, you don't want to use the toilet seat. But there are some toilet seats that are not just paper like, but they are really safer. So you can just put it on before you sit on the toilet. So the for me, I would just advise someone that if you notice any abnormality in your urine or how you feel, you're beginning to itch and all that, just like ladies, most times we ladies are more conscious of, oh, I don't want to have any toilet disease because I don't want to have anything that will stop me from having children. So, as a man as well, if you notice any strange sensation that's abnormal and you start itching or you start seeing discharge, go and see a doctor. Don't self medicate and say, oh, I can do it myself and everything. No, don't do that. Because if you do that, you don't know if you're going to make the situation worse than what it is. So go ahead quickly, get yourself checked up, and take your medication. If there's a medication that you need to take it and take it until pres- prescribed termination. Like, don't stop in between and say, "Oh, I'm feeling better now. It's no more itching," and then you stop if it's something that has to do with antibacterial treatment, because otherwise the infection we get, how do you say it now? To get
What?
resistant, to get resistant.
Yes.
So those are some of the things that me I'll advise anybody to do. So should there be a fertility test? Usually we don't think about doing it. But the point is that whatever you give a man to do, definitely you would ask the woman to do it. And most times, many women don't know that they even have fertility issues before getting married. Just like most men, most times it's on the shoulders of women, and we don't know that some men have low sperm count and all that. But if you know, and it's only when they get married and they're not able to conceive. And after a couple of years, the woman has done all the tests and she's like, "No, but I'm fine. The doctor said you should come. The doctor said you should be the one to come." And the man is always saying, "No, no, 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 no. I don't need to test myself. I'm a man. I'm a man." So some of them who agree, they find out that they have low sperm count. That has nothing to do with an infection or anything. It's something that it's a condition. And for some situations, through miracle, the issue can be resolved through prayers at church, at programs, and also via treatment. So you can get some kind of treatment that you can take that will, that would raise the sperm count to help you to be able to conceive. So don't shy away from those kind of things. Have an open mind when you're getting married. Go in with a very open mind. You're not judging, and nobody is judging you, and you are not judging anybody. The goal is together you want to have children. That's if you want to have. If you want to have children, the goal is to have children, and anything that is going to stop you. If in the past, when you were very young, you had an infection that lasted a very long time, and maybe in your hometown or in your country, in your village, maybe there was no enough medical, what do you call it now?
Treatment.
Um, Treatment or medical facilities, and it was not well treated. Now that you have grown up, it's a good thing to check it out. So you can just check it out and say, "Hey, when I was very young, Mama, tried to treat me in her own way with, the local medicines and herbs and all of that, and maybe we didn't really get it right. Let me check this out." So you can do it on your own, even if it's not required by your wife, your fiance, or the church. You can do it on yourself, on your own, just for you, right? So that's
So,
my own little piece about that, and I think that it's a very touchy topic. People don't like to talk about it because nobody wants to be the cause of the fertility issue in the marriage. Everybody wants to not be accused of being the reason why children have not come yet. And sometimes both of you are fine and nobody is sick, nobody has any issues, and the children are not coming. So these things are very children is they are from God, as people say. But whatever we can do humanly possible, if it's something that could be resolved medically, be open to trying to um, address the issue without any prejudice. Like, don't think about it in any way, and it doesn't make you less of a man. Doesn't make you less of a brother, and it doesn't take getting checked out medically doesn't reduce your Christian stand. It doesn't make you less of a Christian. So think about that. It doesn't make you less of a Christian. God made provisions for the medical. God gave us the wisdom to have this medicine and this medical uh, ideas and facilities. So it's there for a reason. Utilize it, use it, and so that your marriage can be sweet. The goal is to have sweet marriages, right? That's why we are talking about this, because we want to make sure that people are getting married and they're happy in their marriage and they're enjoying their homes. That's the reason why we come here and talk. So let us know, guys. As many of you as that are still here, let us know what other topics do you want us to talk about. What other pain points do you want us to look at? And how often do you want us to come a lot here? Do you want us to talk a
yes,
lot?
and it's not the fact that you go about doing the test is not that does not mean that you are faithless. I've been seeing some narratives like that. It has nothing to do with your faith, your faithfulness, or your faithlessness. It's just what you need to do.
Yeah.
You don't test God. You don't. That has nothing to do with all that.
Mm-hmm.
Just be logical, be rational, do things that you're what you're meant to do. And medicine is not against God. It doesn't have anything. God is not against medicine in any way.
Right.
So just do what you're supposed to do, and God will bless you. If you have been blessed by this topic and you're because of listening to us, you're going to think about doing a medical all-round medical checkup to know what your condition, medical condition is, and you have been blessed. Please give us a thumbs up, share the video, send it to others, and let them also be blessed and think along uh, to avoid unnecessary pain and to be able to know exactly where your prayers are going to be targeted at. You need to know. The Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So if you do not know, you cannot pray right.
That's right.
And God will bless you as you heed to all these things that we're sharing here.
Yeah. God bless you abundantly. It was such a pleasure to be here. We enjoyed this conversation, and we hope that we'll be able to come as often as we can. Next week we won't be here. We have our retreat, so we'll not be here. We're going for, I mean, some people call it Holy Week, and some people call it retreat time, program
Convention.
management, convention, whatever you call it. Please go and let us remember the reason for the season. Okay, the coming of Jesus Christ to save humanity, and share with your friends so that as many as possible can get to know the love that Christ laid down, by giving his life for us to have life, eternal life. God bless you. We're so happy to have had you. My name is
Thank
Princess.
you.
Princess. I have Mr. David. I have Madam Deborah, and we are your happy hosts. Thank you. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to follow the page. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we will see you in our next video. So have a great weekend and
Bye.
remain blessed.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hi guys.